San Diegans like their electric cars, but they're still creating more trash than their neighbors in bordering counties. It's Earth Day, and we're checking in with the Equinox Center board member Ray Ellis and Matt O'Malley of San Diego Coastkeeper to find out why local residents get mixed grades when it comes to being environmentally conscious. Ray, the Equinox Center says the air is not as good as it used to be. Why is that? What's happening?
Well, there's a number of factors that go into that. I think the overriding one is probably the transportation issue. 70% of the folks that are on the freeways are driving to and from work by themselves. So we've certainly got to focus on what we can do to correct that, like carpooling, transit, smart growth, where we're allowing people to work and live in the same community to address that issue. The good news is that 20% of all the electric vehicles sold in the state of California have been right here in San Diego in our region. We've ranked number 3 in the country when it comes to the number of electric vehicles coupled with the infrastructure to support those, which is a critical element for that sector to continue to grow.
Matt, the Equinox Center report found that water consumption among businesses and residents is up by 5%. How significant is that increase, given that we're in the middle of one of the worst droughts on record?
Yeah, I think any increase is a significant increase, and right now we need to be working in the opposite direction. And so it's important for all of us to conserve more, not only in the drought, but post-drought, because we don't know the frequency of droughts, how they're going to occur with climate change. We don't know the duration of droughts. And so it's important for everyone to get the message that conservation is important now, conservation is important in the future. So it is a significant thing, and we need to work in the opposite direction.
And Ray, the report also found that San Diegans are still dumping more trash than their counterparts in Orange County, Riverside County, Los Angeles County. What is the solution here? Do they need to buy less and recycle more? What's going on?
I think it's a combination, and that's one of the reasons that we produce the dashboard, because it gives San Diegans a snapshot of how we're doing in comparison to other regions and how we're improving or not improving overall. When you look at the complete dashboard, there are more positives than there are negatives. But certainly recycling is a tremendous part of that, and improving those programs, expanding them into other areas, those are critical components to reducing the trash.
Matt, Ray mentioned that San Diegans are purchasing more electric vehicles. They're also installing more solar panels. That's good news, but at the same time, last week, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change found that efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions are basically not having too much of an effect. What is it going to take to spur local residents to do more to reduce these emissions?
Yeah, I think there are bottom-up and top-down approaches we can take, and I can speak from a water standpoint, things that we do individually. Conservation is a huge thing to get us where we want to be in greenhouse gas emissions. One, we're reducing our reliance on imported water, which is incredibly energy intense. Transporting water from hundreds or thousands of miles away really takes a lot of energy. If we can capture stormwater as it falls, so we can take advantage of, say, rain barrel rebates, things like that. Now, that's an individual thing that we can do, reduce watering our landscapes. From an agency standpoint, we need to reach out to our elected officials and our agencies and get them to understand that decisions on where we source our water in the future are ones that have less embedded energy in them, and that will have an impact, a positive impact on climate change.
How aware do you think the average citizen is about the fact that these efforts aren't really having too much of an impact?
Perhaps not as aware as we'd like them to be, and that's part of what our organization is trying to do, is get people to understand that the decisions they may make, whether it's in their water use or where we get our water from, do have real impacts on these types of climate change impacts. And so where we can work not only individually, but also from the agency standpoint, I think that is important to do, and just continuing getting the message, I think the Equinox Center report helps us get there as well. It's an educational tool to try and bring attention to that. These issues are important.
Ray, very quickly, in addition to promoting economic quality, the Equinox Center also tries to advocate for economic opportunity. The report found that venture capital funding is up. What's the overall impact on the economy of this?
Well, I think it's a tremendous impact because people are investing in San Diego, and that leads to job creation, and that produces the good numbers we had in the unemployment rate as compared to other parts of the state. It also funnels into our innovation sector, which is one of the key areas that we want to see because there's not only jobs but quality jobs. So it's a big effort, and we're also seeing the number of patents go up significantly, which will continue to feed that process. But for more information, people can look at our website, equinoxcenter.org, and get more answers.
And we're going to wrap this up on that note. Ray, Matt, thanks for coming on the program.
Thanks for having
Thank you.
us.